Good evening and welcome to Cstv News at 24 or Cstv. Cstv News at 24 is brought to you by Celeste Witton Brown, Rema Ocean Agency, Amsor Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing, Sarah's Dream Jewelries, KS Rafael Mix Campaign Limited, Yard Decorations, and NAP Apartment Hotel. Now in the headlines, Ghana and Nigeria police have strengthened collaborations to combat human trafficking. Also coming your way, government approves 9% salary raise for public sector, raises minimum wages to 21.77 Ghana cedis. Moving on to the international front also, Iran faces unprecedented drought as water crisis hits terror. There's a many more stories coming your way on tonight's news bulletin on Cstv. My name is Dr. Spencer. Stay tuned. To our first story for tonight, the Ghana Police Service and the Nigeria Police Force have reaffirmed their commitment to deepening collaborations in the fight against human trafficking and other transnational crimes across West Africa. DIG Abubakar Sadiq commented COP Lydia Donko for initiating the bilateral engagement during the Interpol African Regional Conference earlier this year in South Africa.
Continue to work closely with national and international partners to combat this scourge. Nigerians adopt a whole of government approach involving the ministries, national agencies for the prohibition of trafficking in persons, Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, the Interpol and other critical stakeholders to further prevent. Modern traffickers now exploit technology, including artificial intelligence, fake online portals, social media, and cryptocurrency platforms to recruit and control victims. The ECOWAS protocol on free movement of persons, goods and services, while fostering regional integration, also poses enforcement challenges, enabling traffickers to move victims across borders for economic, sexual, or medical exploitation, forced labor, or even organ harvesting. Emerging crimes such as fraudulent credit investment schemes have further complicated these matters. Victims, often held by fellow citizens in remote locations, are extorted through mobile currency networks operating across borders. These trends underscores the urgent needs for stronger synergy among West African law enforcement agencies.
And in response to DIG Abubakar Sadiq's commitment on the fight against human trafficking and other transnational crimes across West Africa, Commissioner of Police Lydia Donko praised Nigerians' cooperation and reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to enhance intelligence sharing and coordinated enforcement operations.
So there's a close nexus between human trafficking and other crimes, especially cyber crimes and cyber-enabled frauds and other criminal activities. So I'm pleased that we are even having this meeting at the National Cyber Crime Center. It will send a message that we are really serious about this menace. And Ghana, Nigeria, I think it's because of the language. We have victims, suspects from the sub-region, but between our two countries, the numbers are huge. I guess because we speak English, they find it easy to come here or to come to Ghana. So there's a need for us to work together to do much more in this fight against cybercrime. We are all signatories to the Palermo Protocol, hence the need for us to work together to ensure that we are doing much more for our various citizens across our borders.
find a way, as we are speaking, find a way to see how we can document people properly so that if somebody is sent back home and somehow a year or so after we find that he has come back here, then that's why you are no longer a victim. So you have to face the full rigors of the law.
And moving on to some political story, former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has condemned comments made by Asante Akim South Member of Parliament, who recently described him as a stranger within the New Patriotic Party. Addressing party members during his tour of the OT region, Dr. Bawumia stated that such words goes contrary to the unifying traditions of the party.
Krefobi omunenam omusi Dr. Bawumia Oba Adabeng semwati Oba Adabeng na ono yedine baye yedine baye se ombeye akwa na wewie ni juma enti onko enye semwati sa asem no semwati sa asem no omo amu kasa asem no omunti ye party abakosem ase omunti na ase unim ye party abakosem a ubehu se Ghana henyina yenyina ye by different tribes ena ebe hihye ya saako ya yewo yi ubehu se Gans adangbefo ewo ho Muslim Association Party ewo ho Ashanti ewo ho Northern People's Party ewo ho nenyina ebe kabomu to form the United Party ye koi efrimu ebe enti Northern People's Party ye no eno na the biggest at the beginning of the United Party eno the biggest party and na omo 15 seats na SD Dombo and oye the leader, the chairman of the Northern People's Party. Nami Papa Mumuni Bawumia only vice chairman to SD Dombo in the Northern People's Party. Enti Usha Mabeye Party running mate 8 years running mate in opposition before Yeba by my running mate 8 years. Mako Supreme Court akojina ho ama party ma na ushe ejuma aseye to a Bank of Ghana and African Development Bank. First muti say na minya accident bi ejuma inti na mi court no ewo accident a minya on the way from Bole to Accra. Me free Upper West na meba and a minya accident no nyame na ema me anwu no for that accident munya munim said e koye me be ye vice president 8 years our party mu na obia so di agency say I've been the most impactful vice president in the history of Ghana. And yes sir, na ma be ye presidential candidate so
Now let's move on to the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. The government of Ghana has announced that the 30% reduction in the fee for ordinary passport applications from 500 Ghana cedis to 350 Ghana cedis will go into effect on Thursday, November 13, 2025. The announcement was made by Samuel Kujetu Ablakwa, Minister for Foreign Affairs, in a post on social media on November 9th. This comes after the minister had earlier announced the reduction would take effect sometime in November. Moving on to the Eastern region, the Fantipim School recently won the 2025 National Science and Maths Quiz. This was their fourth trophy and a defense of their 2024 title. The school celebrated its 149th anniversary with a speech and prize-giving day. Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Ernest Kofi Davis, in his address, announced that the school is among 4 schools to get robotics engineering labs which support the government's focus on science, technology, engineering, and mass education.
Education and GES is setting up 4 robotics and engineering laboratories this year in support of government's STEM agenda. I'm pleased to announce that Infanspim School is one of the 4 schools to benefit from this initiative. Infanspim School will also be the first school in Central Region to receive the Robotics and Engineering Laboratory in recognition of the school's commitment to excellence in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education.
President John Dramani Mahama has paid glowing tribute to the late Dr. Victor Attoh, describing him as one of Ghana's finest gynecologists. Speaking on the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Awards, President John Dramani Mahama fondly recounted his personal experience with Dr. Attoh, who passed away 22 years ago.
His father was Dr. Attoh, one of the best gynecologists and obstetricians in Ghana. He is the late. And he delivered my 4 sons, Shafiq, Shahid, Sharaf, and JC. And I used to go with Lodina to their house for antenatal consultations. And this was a very little boy. And his father, a young man, he likes his skincare and shit on. And so every day he goes to the house, and he's called Niyama. He hasn't told him his own name. I said, Niyama, I'm the big hand of you. Niyama, I'm Besito, yo, Besito Abba. But he's done very well. Nothing about that.
On this note, we're going for a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Company Limited. So we per blocks machines here eye papa. Na ne bonso esan eda form dia. Enye na enwani Amsal Company Limited. Ye were conveyor blocks machines, hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one accessories nyina. And nothing so blocks machines ahodro wo penny nyina bi nso ewo ho. Hwehwe ye kira kwan ene ya. Ye was Spinters Road 18 Junction. Ye ni KFC dan no e na edi nhwe animu. Freye, it was 05,240 and I say 0540-725850. Amstel blocks machines papa efie.
be passed into law by the end of 2026.
We continue to strengthen our market surveillance and enforcement system to detect irregularities early and hold offenders accountable. In doing so, we are also working closely with the law enforcement agencies, including the police, IOCO, the Judiciary, and Attorney General Department, to ensure that individuals and entities that defraud investors face the full consequences of the law. More importantly, the SEC is strengthening its oversight and regulatory powers to ensure fair market practices and investor protection. Hence, move to overhaul the current Security Industry Act Act 929 of 2016, as amended by the Security Industry Amendment Act of 2021 at 1062, to more robust acts for effective regulation. The new bill has so far gone through extensive internal review and will soon be submitted to the Ministry of Finance for consideration and onward submission to the Attorney General Department. It will subsequently be laid before Parliament for passage into law, potentially before the end of next year, 2026, all things being equal. The bill forms part of the effort to transition Ghana's capital market from a frontier to an emerging capital market status.
Now let's move on to the international front. Jay-Z praising as push Madagascar's former leader not only out of office but out of the country. In his place is Colonel Michael, who was sworn in as president of the island after his military unit joined the protesters. Iran, especially its capital, Tehran, is facing an unprecedented drought this autumn, with rainfall at record lows and reservoirs nearly empty. Officials are pleading with citizens to conserve water as the crisis deepens. The president has warned that if there is not enough rainfall, Tehran's water supply could be rationed, and also added that even rationale might not be enough to prevent a disaster. His comments have prompted criticisms in newspapers and social media. Former Tehran mayor called the idea a joke and said evacuating Tehran makes no sense at all. Sports update is up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back now in sports. Accra House of Oak supporters have accused referee Reginald Collins Amwa of cheating them in Ghana's Premier League Super Clash against rivals Asante Kotoko. The Phobians were handed their first defeat in the ongoing 2025-26 Premier League by the Porcupine Warriors at their Grass Sports Stadium. Roy insists Liverpool are in crisis after producing a weak performance in defeat at Man City, while Gary thought they looked like a team after Slot's succumbed to a fifth Premier League defeat of the season at the Etihad Stadium.
No, I think it is crisis time for Liverpool. As I said, yeah, we know they can be beaten in Man City. We know it's a tough place to come, and Man City, the signs are Man City obviously getting back to their very best. But to lose 7 and 10 and 5 league losses already this season, yeah, it has to be a crisis for a club like Liverpool. I thought his his assessment of the game today was spot on. I think it was very fair. Yeah, the decision could have gone against them, but overall he looked stronger, technically better, and they looked really much better physically than Liverpool today. I thought Liverpool like a really weak team today. Still at moments, of course, they've got that quality. They'll still cause teams problems, but defensively, the goals are given away. The decision making, I'll go back to that word, lack of intensity, lack of energy. They're chopping and changing, bring his subs on, but it just looked really flat. And Gary mentioned it, the managers mentioned it, said he was pleased with the second half, but the game was over. The game is over. It's very easy to play when you're 2 or 3-0 down, when the other teams take their foot off the gas. So they've got Forest after the international break. Obviously, Forest fighting for their lives. Yeah, to me, I think it is crisis for Liverpool.
And now away from sports news to some entertainment stories, Ghanaian musician Ochiami Kwame has opened up about why he chose his wife as his life partner, saying it was not because she was the one, but because of the character and physical attraction. Speaking in an interview, he explained that his decision to marry her was based on logic, compatibility, and later a deeper connection.
The first day I met my wife, I knew she was the one. First minute, first second. And it's not like love at first sight. Okay. Saw her, because no human being ever, you know, you meet a person, you like the way they look, then you get closer, you hear the way they speak, and then you spend months, and then you love the way they think. Then you decide that you are going to spend the rest of your life with. Not necessarily because they are the one, but because they are a safe option, or they are a safer option. So I think that the question that you are asking is, how can a woman present herself as a safe option for a sensible man to choose her? Because I didn't choose my wife because she was the one. I chose her because she was reasonable. She had foresight. She made my problems her problems. And then she had big nash. Wow. See that she was going to make my problems her problem. I saw it before. So that's what he is saying, that we can begin interaction, then rejection. Yes, because I do not know that by the time I leave this place and I get home, my wife is still the same person. She missed me last night that she loved me. But so I wake up in the morning there. That's what he is talking about. So to find someone to be your one, you yourself must first find love. You yourself must first be able to sit by yourself, just in your thoughts, and love yourself so much that you get to that account adage that says it, whatever it is that you do not want someone to do to you, you don't do to this person. And if she looks at you from the same perspective, then you have something going that might last for a longer time. That's how I see it.
Ever gospel artist Scott Evans has opened about his approach to music and fame, stating that he would rather engage in petty trading than venture into secular music. Speaking in an interview, the Holy Father singer said he is not under any pressure to create hit songs or make money, insisting that his mission is rather to spread God's message rather than chase hit songs or financial success.
His message to the people. My focus is to make sure the song gets to people who need his word. It gets to one person, there's a party in heaven, okay? I'm not perturbed, I'm not pressured, I'm not enthused, I'm not fighting things. No. If I get a chance to be a secular artist, I'll be a plantain. I'll be selling plantain on the street rather than become a secular artist. Yeah. But to be a secular artist, there's nothing attractive in it for me. There's no pressure on me.
And this is where we end tonight's news bulletin on CSTV. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Ghana and Nigeria police are strengthening collaborations to combat human trafficking in West Africa. Also, government approves 9% salary raise for public sector, raises minimum wages to 21 Ghana cedis, 77 pesos. Iran faces unprecedented drought as water crisis hits Tehran. And this is where we draw curtains for tonight's news bulletin. CSTV News at 24 was brought to you by Celeste with Tom Brown, Rema Ushering Agency, Amstel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing, Sarah's Dream Jewelries, KS Rafemix Company Limited, Yab Decorations, and NAP Apartment Hotel. My name is Dorcas Mason.